afternoon, my movie-loving brothers and sisters. Thank you guys for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon or evening, whatever you want to call it, on the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel, where we talk about all things movies, movie news, and other screen-related shit. I am, of course, your humble host who is back with the most, Keith Toothman. It has been a while since I've been back here in the studio hosting a live show of the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel, and I am glad to be back. I am joined today by my friend, colleague, and today's co-host, Trevor Farney.
That's me.
Trevor, how you doing today, buddy?
Well, the hair's still red, the beard's still growing, and the ring is still on. Not married. I just have a ring. Then
like a Mordor, or
it's
the
one
one
ring of power
to rule them all.
Not the one. Not the one.
Okay.
Here
just
in America, it's
like
one of like 6.5.
Many.
There's one guy got a half. He can't wear it. He has to just carry it around. But
right. I believe the quote was many rings.
That's right.
To rule them all. But yeah, so again, back in the studio today. Lots have been going on. Lots of activity on the channel lately. Appreciate all the new subscribers and new people coming in to check out our little channel here and what we like to do. And if you're unfamiliar with that, what we like to do is talk about movies and movie news. And the way we like to do that is in the format of going over some main topics and then discussing those main topics. And at the end of the show, we like to take any comments, questions, super chats, or anything you've left down in the chat section below. So make sure you guys are interacting down there, leaving us questions, and we will make sure we're answering away on those. Also, we do have our channel membership up. Shout out to our current channel members. If you have not signed up to be our channel in our channel membership, definitely go check it out in the About tab under the members only link. You can join for as little as $2.99 a month, and it goes a long way to helping us out to bringing the channel to you and keeping it improved as it's coming to you. So we appreciate all our current channel members, and shout out to anybody who decides to join. Obviously, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. But yeah, let's see. Anything else? I did go out and see Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods last night. I do have a quick little out-of-theater review up from that. I will do a full review on it sometime soon. But just to give you my little quick thoughts on it right here, just in case you haven't seen that video, I thought it was kick-ass. So screw you guys that hate that movie, I guess. I don't know what all the hate is. I guess I feel like it was, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. I feel like it was kind of maybe marketed incorrectly. So maybe some of it's got to do with that, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, I enjoyed Shazam. Had a good time at the theater. It's not groundbreaking. It's not the Batman for DC or anything like that, but it was fun. I had a ton of fun. I mean, maybe even more fun than the first one. So, go check out Shazam if you haven't, and stick around for me to give a full spoilery review where we can talk about all those spoiling things.
The spoily doilies.
But yeah, other than that, we should probably get right to it. So let's go ahead and jump in to our first main topic today. And our first main topic today is this. So it's been a few years now when all this Marvel Disney Plus stuff began, and one of the very first few things we got was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which obviously introduced us to the MCU's new version of Captain America, and that is in one Anthony Mackie, who I just love and adore as an actor and human being. Now that I'm saying it out loud, couldn't think of a guy who better fits Captain America. Anthony Mackie will be playing him, and yeah, we've known this for a little while. Like I said, it was a few years ago. I wasn't the hugest fan of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I didn't hate it. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it had its moments. Love Anthony Mackie. Love their relationship. The chemistry between Stan and Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie is great. Love that what we got out of it was they both are now going to be leading their own films, which is well deserved. These guys have kind of been on the sidelines for a long time in the MCU, so glad they're getting their chance. But what I want to talk about today is it looks like, according to this article we have pulled up from Collider, that Captain America New World Order has finally began filming. Let's read just a little bit of this article. Cameras are rolling for Sam Wilson's Anthony Mackie's latest adventure as Captain America New World Order. According to Screen Rant, production has begun on the fourth Captain America film, which will be part of Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, scheduled to release on May 3rd of next year. That's actually not very far away. I bet that gets moved a little bit. The movie will also include Tim Blake Nelson, who is great, and Danny Ramirez, and is cast alongside Wichita's home away from home homeboy Harrison Ford, who is joining the franchise in the role of none other than, they don't want to say it, but I'll say it for him, Captain Red Hulk.
That's right.
Thaddeus Ross, obviously, after, the sad and passing of William Hurt, who, really brought a lot to that role. So can't wait to see what Harrison Ford brings. It is time for Sam to face his first big challenge after he proved to the world that he is more than worthy of carrying the shield. Plot details are unavailable at the moment, but considering the amount of characters reprising their roles, it should be safe to say that the movie will follow the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And that, probably goes without saying. So this is all I really wanted to read on this article. What I really wanted to address and talk about the most was that, hey, this movie is actually filming. In the world that we live in, nothing's really something until it's something, if that makes any sense. And right now, this is filming. And even now in the world we live in, this still sometimes doesn't mean anything, right? Because look at Batgirl. Right. It filmed, it did all the other things, and still no one will ever see it. They burnt it alive. So I don't think that happens with Anthony Mackie's Captain America and Captain America New World Order. But I'm just saying, glad that we are moving forward. Filming has begun. This also happened with Blade some months ago. Filming began, and, that didn't go so well either. And I think they're filming again now for that. So hopefully this goes smooth. Everything works out. I will say this. I'm not encouraged by the fourth movie installments in the MCU total. I know we haven't had, but I mean, Thor 4 or whatever, but still, it just feels like it's time to move on at some point. But in a way, this is moving on, and I understand that. So I hope that we can do both of those things in this movie, and it really satisfied me. But that being said, man, again, I have a hard time seeing me not liking this because I love Anthony Mackie. But Trevor, you're hearing this. What are your thoughts on Cap 4, Captain America, New World Order with Red Harrison himself,
Mr. Red
is now filming?
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Marvel in general, I need him to have a hit here, a win. I don't know if this is the one. I don't know. But at this point, it's just been kind of like, I don't feel like they're making bad movies, but I'm just like, it's losing the steam. It's losing the steam, and I understand how important the steam is, and when the steam goes, very hard to get the steam choking back up again. But I mean, I love Anthony Mackie. I love Harrison Ford. So if there was signs to point to a decent film, I mean, that's a good start. That's a good start. And I'm excited to see what they do with it. I really enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's not like it's not something I'll probably ever go back and really study again. But I mean, it's a fun little aspect. I like it more than I like a lot of the Disney Plus shows.
It had its moments, right? I mean, there was moments where it was really good.
I think it started out first 3 episodes were very intense and gripping. And I'll be honest, I think what happened for me with the Falcon and Winter Soldier is the main villain kind of fell apart.
Yes, see, and that villain, and that is one of the real problems of that show, because that villain starts out as the strongest villain.
Yeah.
Like, immediately you're
Great
like,
villain.
oh, this is going to be really good.
Right.
And it does. It kind of falls apart at the end.
They just go stereotypical with it.
Yes.
You wanted her to be like, you wanted to really like maybe be with her the whole time, and just be like, have it be a little more complicated. Instead, they're just like, oh, let's just out and out make her kind of like a
run-of-the-mill TV kind of villain.
Oh, it's a crazed
Right.
power person.
Yeah.
Yep, this is what crazy power looks like, just losing their minds. And you're like, well, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not.
Right, for sure. But guys, you guys are hearing this. What are you guys' thoughts on Captain America 4, Anthony Mackie's Captain America, New World Order, finally beginning filming? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we're going to jump into our second main topic today. And our second main topic today is this. So over the years, we have had a few movies with, recently, as a matter of fact, with Adam Sandler. It's all Netflix now. He signed that big contract years ago. Recently had Hustle, the movie. I believe got nominated for some SAG Awards and maybe even an Academy Award or two. Was a brilliant movie. If you haven't seen Adam Sandler's new movie, Hustle, I believe that's what it was called. Definitely go check that out. But I have this article here that kind of drew my attention, and that is this article from, if I could get the correct article pulled up, that is this article from Screen Rant. And this article says in the headline that Drew Barrymore is actively looking for a new movie with Adam Sandler. So let's read a little bit about this. Drew Barrymore is actively working towards a new movie with Adam Sandler. Barrymore and Sandler's on-screen ties go back as far as 1998, when the pair starred in what a lot of people consider to be the greatest Adam Sandler movie ever, which is The Wedding Singer. Since then, Barrymore and Sandler have led 2 additional romantic comedies, which, again, one of them very good, 50 First Dates, and then Blended, which isn't in the same category as those first 2 movies,
Right.
but in the category of movies that it is great.
Right.
Barrymore has now suggested to ET Online that another Sandler-Barrymore collaboration may be coming soon. According to Barrymore, she and Sandler want to find the perfect combination of something new before working together again. Nonetheless, she is actively seeking another project with Sandler. Barrymore elaborates below, and this is a direct quote from her. "We might have mentioned something about it this morning. We're actively seeking. I know, I wonder the same thing, because I think that it's important for us to hook into it. Maybe not to be redundant or of something we've done in the past, but not try to prove we're doing something different just to prove it. It's just like an alchemy, and it'll be a little of this and a little of that." This is great. First of all, love Drew Barrymore. Been a long time since I, have really seen her in anything, honestly. I can't even remember the last time I've seen Drew Barrymore.
She on that morning show, Drew,
Yes,
boy.
yes, Drew. But never seen it. And great, but hear great things.
Right.
But yeah, this is awesome. Again, a lot of people consider The Wedding Singer to be the elite Adam Sandler movie. And really, if you're taking, what movies are into consideration, that may be the case. If we're going just, it's hard not to pick just a straight comedy for him and define Adam Sandler to me as Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore. Like, those are really him. But those aren't great movies. Right. Those are great comedy movies.
Right.
But they're not like, whoa, didn't see that happening. Where The Wedding Singer is in that vein. And so it kind of sounds like they're wanting to, and it's funny because all 3 of these movies kind of are in these different categories. And it kind of seems like they're kind of want to, as she says, it's like an alchemy, and it looks like they're going to want to kind of bring all those things together without, like she said again, being redundant or trying to do something different just to say that we're trying to do something different, which is always, as creators, a very difficult line to walk. However, when you're Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler, I think you toe it perfectly, and I can't wait to see what this leads to. I imagine this leads to a fun little quirky comedy type thing on Netflix. Maybe it leads to something unexpected like The Wedding Singer. But we'll see. I'm super excited to hear that she's looking for this opportunity. I'm excited that Sandler is just like her, like, yeah, for sure, let's do this. All those movies were successful in some way or another, whether it was financially or critically or, the audience loved them. I think this is a great idea, and I'm glad to hear it. Trevor, you're hearing this. What are your thoughts on, the beautiful and talented Drew Barrymore teaming back up with the one and only Adam Sandler once again for a film?
I'm digging it. I'll tell you what. I'm digging it for all of the elements too. Barrymore, third generation actress, I believe. She's her father was her father or grandfather was Lionel Barrymore, one of the great I believe he was a silent film actor, and that then transitioned into the talkies. But she's fantastic, and I mean, God, what a career she's had. Like, she started when she was like, what? Like, I don't know how old she was in E.T., but young, and she's kept going and kept going and kept going. And, she keeps having these moments where she'll, like, have, like, amazing films. Like, she's in my favorite film of all time, Donnie Darko. So, yeah, there you go. So she does all different kinds of stuff. So I'm down for that. Sandler, look, man, when he signed that contract with Netflix, I was not high on Sandler.
Yeah, all we did was be like, what in the hell was that?
Right.
And all it's done, and even in the beginning, first few films, it was still
like the Six Outlaws.
This
or
is
whatever.
what we thought it was going to be. Sandler, good, yeah, happy now.
The six, the something six.
Hateful Eight. It was like that though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a play on like the Magnificent
on the
Seven,
Hateful Eight. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stupid Six,
right.
or I don't. That was one of the dumbest things.
Terrible
I've ever.
freak. It had
Taylor
Lautner. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, don't bring up
That
who
was
else
in,
is
like,
in
Adam,
it.
it was
You'll
like
remember
right after the Grown Ups 2.
You're gonna make me remember more. Grown Ups 2 is killing that movie. I would watch the Grown Ups trilogy of Clockwork Orange style before I would watch the Magnificent Six or whatever it is again. I can't remember what it is.
That's a solid point, bro.
God, but yeah, but you're right though. In that beginning phase, even as movies began to come out, it reaffirmed what we thought. We're like, nah,
good to know.
Good work, just as we thought. Shit!
Right.
And then a couple years later, we started getting some of those. He had that murder mystery movie with Jennifer Aniston, which was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
He had Uncut Gems.
Which, dude, Uncut Gems is a masterpiece.
Again, I know you haven't seen Hustle, but Hustle came out just last year. I would argue that Hustle was, I could actually argue that it was the best movie made last year. I could make that argument.
For real?
Legitimately, dude. It is, and it's one of the best performances Adam Sandler's ever given. Overall, it's a great film. It was another Netflix one. He even his like stupid ones that you would normally hate lately have been so good, like Hubie Halloween. I don't know if you've seen this, but another one that's just kind of like a fun, quirky, fun kids Halloween movie. I mean, I don't know. He's really turned it around lately. It feels like though with these Netflix films. But in the beginning,
that's
very worried, especially after we were 5 in and we're looking at the deal, going, "Wait, this is like a 48 film deal, bro." Right. Like, I don't remember what it was, but it was like crazy. It was like never even heard of. Like even when he had first pitched it, like people laughed at him.
Right.
Until he pitched it to Netflix. And Netflix was like, what an idea.
Right.
But guys, you guys are hearing this. What are you guys' thoughts on Barrymore and Sandler getting back together for another film? Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we're going to jump into our third main topic today, And our third main topic today is this. So, as I said at the beginning of the show, I finally did have a chance to go out and see Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, and there's a quick little out-of-theater review up. Go check it out. I'll give you my quick thoughts, spoiler-free, but I will just tell you quickly here right now that I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I thought, honestly, I had a kick-ass time at the theater. I was alone in the theater. It was me and one other dude, and we had a kick-ass time together. It's one of those stories where that dude ends up being like the best man at my wedding. No, I'm joking. It wasn't like that. Really cool dude. But yeah, point is, with an empty theater and even pretty much alone and by myself, really enjoyed the film. And what I really took away from it, and if you go watch my review, this is what I talk about the most. What I really took away from it is that it was very family-oriented. It almost feels like a joke now with all the Fast and the Furious stuff, but family, it was all about family, and you felt it, and it worked. It was great. It hit all these ranges that, and honestly, as a father with a child, I was upset, A, that I didn't have my child and my wife with me, and then B, that I didn't have more. Like, damn, I need an older son and like a middle-aged one, because they were hitting everything here. It's like, damn, they're hitting dad, they're hitting mom, they're hitting young girl, they're hitting middle-aged boy, they're hitting young boy, they're hitting boy with physical, problems, all kinds of shit that's being hit here. And I thought it was great. They did it really well. It felt like an epic family fun movie. It really did. I can see by the marketing, though, and from the first movie, which was definitely marketed more, I would say, for family fun. You had that scene in the trailers in the first Shazam where he's going in trying to buy beer. You remember this one, Trevor? Like, it kind of let you know, like, this is a lighthearted kind of thing, where the trailers for Shazam 2, had kind of set up this battle of the gods, like this serious thing. Like, hey, this time it's not all jokey, fun. Like, shit's gonna get real for old Shazam here, and I think that's what the trailers and the marketing kind of led us to believe. Even me, who really had no expectations going in. I didn't do a show yesterday, and Trevor and Lucas were here doing a show. Thank you again, and. All they talked about was these negative reviews and how it made $30 million. Man, I feel like if I put a movie out, it would make $30 million opening weekend. So, especially if I was allowed to use the name Shazam. All of that stuff is crazy. So I do want to look at quickly just this tweet that I have pulled up here by Zach Sharf that says, why does Shazam 2 bomb at the box office? And then here's a quote from Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi says, quote, marketing. This is a perfect family movie, and yet a lot of families aren't aware of that. He also agrees, which we're not going to talk about, but we know as a fact that the Snyder fans are as happy as could be that another non-Snyder DC thing has crashed and burned as hard as this has, which obviously, sucks for Zachary Levi and this film. But I just want to address specifically what he talked about here, that it's the marketing that killed this movie. And I want to propose the question to you and I both, Trevor. Did the marketing of Shazam, is it what really killed this movie, or are there other elements, and if so, do they play bigger roles? So obviously it's not going to be one thing that killed this film, but is this the one big thing? Is this what really snuffed it out in the end? And I'm gonna tell you now that my opinion on this after seeing the movie is, yeah, I would say so. I would say this movie should have been marketed in a way that when me and you, Trevor, seen the trailers, we would have went, it's not really for us, but it looks fun.
Right.
That's almost how it should have been marketed, because it really is, dude. I mean, the Shazam family is 5, 6, 7 kids, that that are all ranging in ages. You know, you have one, you know, the young African-American girl, she's like 9. So she again, the roles that they play, they're all so dynamic and different. And it's really family-like. It makes you feel like you're like when we're all around and we, you know, as brothers, and we all are family, and we treat each other like it. And you know how that feels, right? This feels organically just like that, dude. Like, it feels like if we got powers when we were kids and someone made a movie about it. Like, but imagine, like, you know, the core of us, like the 4 core of us were all like within a few years of each other and teenagers.
Right.
Like higher up, like, you know, 16, 17 teenagers, you know? You know, it plays out exactly like that. And I think if marketed that way, this would have done better. I do believe so. There's, you know, honestly, some of the silliest parts of the movies, and they do it 3 times. Great comedy comes in 3s, and the 3rd time really pays off. But there's always this moment where Shazam just tries to use, like, look over there, as just a distraction, which is so silly. But again, like, when you watch it, it reminds you of yourself and your brothers as kids. Right. Like, you used to get your brothers with shit like that. It seems silly in the movie. You're like, well, that wouldn't work. But it did. Right. Like, it worked all the time. We'd get adults with it. Remember the shoulder tap thing?
Right. Oh, my God.
I mean, come on. So to see all of that stuff play out in a family-oriented way, I thought it was great. And I really think if marketed and shown in the trailers that, hey, bring the fam out. Get all of them. This isn't for your sons or your no. This isn't for just your young or just your teen. No, all of them. Mom too, dad too. Like, there's a whole family element. The 2 actors that play the mom and dad of the Shazam family are wonderful. There's so much heart in the family. You know, the Fast and the Furious has a lot of work to do now with this is family, man. And I'm going to say my answer to the main reason is the number one reason I think that this bombed due to marketing. I'm going to say yes. After seeing the film, I'm going to say yes. Trevor, same question. What do you think?
Well, I think the main reason is the marketing, but I think the other biggest reason is just, unfortunately, it's part of it, like, essentially a dead franchise, you know,
Yep.
like, and mixed in. I mean,
the people, again, from the other side are just want to see it die.
Right.
They're like, kill it already.
Right. Don't release this.
Kill what we had. Just, we don't want it to be a part of any of that anymore. Just,
we don't want it to spread. Just kill it. Right. Just put it in its own corner.
Which is an understandable thing for Snyder fans to think. You know, dude, would you say we're Snyder boys or whatever?
No, I like Snyder.
No,
I'm not a Snyder fan.
But you know? I'm just gonna say I've been on the side of them the most of this time. You know what I mean? Right now, it's like, you know, I enjoyed Shazam, but I get it. Like, just
right,
get it over with, man.
Right.
Get it over. Let these guys get rest, man. They're tired of seeing pieces of what they really want.
Right.
Like, oh, that's a thing that I used to love, and you want to try to do shit with it. Right. That's how Snyder fans feel, and they're never going to feel any different. So I definitely that is one of the other underlying things that's always happening with this, right?
They're doing like a Weekend at Bernie's.
I mean, you had Black Adam actor Dwayne Johnson, who was asked multiple times to appear in this film in some sort of post-credit scene, a role or another, and every time he was adamant that this is nothing to do with me and is dead and it's too silly. And this makes sense now seeing Shazam 2 more, because Shazam 2 again is so the opposite of what Black Adam was going for. Black Adam was going for this serious, like, almost leave your kids at home. You know what I mean? Like, almost rated R kind of feel is what Black Adam was going for. And Shazam, again, is E for everyone. If you're coming to me and I'm Dwayne The Rock Johnson and you're like, hey, look at our stupid little character, it's Star-Lord with a lightning bolt on him. Like, this doesn't really fit into what I'm doing. But the same thing that you mentioned happened to him, right? Yeah. The Snyder fans win in the end. Even with Black Adam, they're like, kill it all, dude. Just get rid of it. The Snyder fans had to be the happiest, the only people on the planet that when they found out that Henry Cavill was actually again not going to play Superman. They were finally like, thank God.
Our Lord can rest.
Right? Right? But now I can rest. Right?
My life's work is complete. But protected the story.
But my bad. Go on.
Oh, that's pretty much it. I think it's really a combination between those two things. And then, it can't be understated. And I think it's just represented in the critics is like a little bit of that, like that superhero fatigue is I'm not fatigued on the idea, but I think I'm tired of seeing the same stories in that idea.
Yeah, I'm fatigued in a way.
Right.
But it's you're doing it, not superheroes. Like, it's not the property itself. Like, stop giving me the shame. Again, I go back to the Batman.
Right. I was not fatigued by that movie.
I could watch 3,000 of those over the next year.
Come on. Let's go.
And anything like it. And yeah, and I will say it had been a while before we got something on that level, but still it exists, and that's what we got to do is we got to get it in the hands of the right people, right, that are gonna do that story and those characters the justice. And that is, at the end of the day, why the Snyder fans are really upset, because the one thing we can accept, even though we're not Snyder boys or whatever you want to call it, is that he knew what he had his idea. He had a plan, and he knew these characters well. Yeah. And he loved these characters. He loved this world, and he was full on dedicated to it. Even when his life brought the worst things to him, he still has picked back up this and tried and wanted to do this again. And yeah, so I think that's part of it for people, is that they have a trusted creator that they've also seen make really badass stuff. Right. That it's like, damn, at this point, I don't want to see nothing, especially if it's got any ties to do with that. Right. Like, they want you to, like, they're cool. Like, I feel like Snyderverse people are totally cool with Pattinson Batman. Like, they love they're like, more Pattinson Batman stuff.
Right.
But if you cross over like Henry Cavill, which is that's Snyder people's, that's their Superman.
Right.
They don't want to see that shit in none of the shit. None of it. Any of those characters. Not Wonder Woman, not those versions at least. Like, if you want to do it, stop using Zack Snyder's shit. That's kind of their whole point. And honestly, I again kind of been on board the whole time. Like, yeah, just kill it.
Use it or don't use it, dude.
And even with the gun stuff, there's been this whole thing of like, what's he using? What's he not using? And it's like, and he's like picking and choosing. It's like, nah, dude, I think you got, as with all things new that are really great, you break it down.
Right.
You break it all the way down and you rebuild it from the floor up. Right. And I think at the end of the day, that's the only thing you can do. And it should be easier to do when you have something like Matt Reeves' Batman and the beautiful Joaquin Phoenix behind you's Joker as pillars to begin your new work. Those have nothing to do with Zack Snyder's universe. So you have two pillars. And yeah, and I will just say this too, things are going to get immensely confusing when this Flash movie comes out.
Yeah.
It is going to be really, really confusing, and I'm not looking forward to the backlash of all this. I'm not looking forward back to all these Snyder fans back to getting loud and screaming, see why it should be Zack Snyder's universe.
Right, because if it's great,
Yeah, right. But
then what?
Because again, right. Well, this just happened like a couple of years ago.
Right.
He puts out the definitive version of a Justice League movie.
So
By the
definitive,
way,
it's
also
ridiculous.
puts it out in black and white. Thank you so much, Zack Snyder, for
was
doing
beautiful.
so.
Right.
And that's what happened. Even us, who again are not Snyder
was dead
fans,
on it. I
like
was
that,
done.
we're still like, see? No, we see. We were doing it to each other. See, bro?
I'm sorry, brothers, I wasn't awake before, but now I am.
And it's like, Jesus, man. Like, at what point are we gonna do one or the other? Are we gonna get rid of it or go, all right, Zack Snyder, I guess we were wrong here.
Right.
Do it.
Right.
Because again, the Flash is really going to confuse things.
Right.
It will be the greatest thing, the greatest movie ever made, tied to that universe.
Right.
And again, yeah, it's gonna be confusing. But guys, I've gone on too long. What do you guys think of Shazam's, marketing? Is this what caused it? Did you like Shazam 2? Definitely let me know if you think if you loved it, you hate it. It's better than the first one. Trevor, you got to go out and see it because honestly, I think you'd love it as just like the fun dudes we are. We're
Right.
just like bro dudes, and like it's like there was moments I even tried to want to hate it because it's not like. Again, it's not like a great movie or anything, but it's just so fun. You couldn't possibly hate it. Again, it's very family. It's like trying to hate E.T. How the hell are you watching E.T. going, no, you can't. You can't. Even if you try. Like, you start out like that, and after, like, he's riding on the bicycle and his hand's glowing, you're like, man, I think I'm down with this dude.
Cool.
And
Like
at the end of the day, that's how this is too. So yeah, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think the marketing played a role in this? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Okay, so something that we probably will spend the most time on, and our fourth main topic today is this: more Star Wars drama. So literally we had a video on the channel that's been doing really well lately. That's like I don't remember the title. It was something like, what the fuck is going on at Star Wars? And, this article that we're going to read and this topic is honestly going to just dive us more deeper into the question proposed on that video, which is what the hell is going on over there, Star Wars? What is going on, Lucasfilms? As we have this article here from Collider that Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson have exited their secret Star Wars movie. Let's read a little bit of this. In another creative shakeup, Deadline has confirmed above the lines reporting that screenwriters Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson have both left their untitled Star Wars film. The project, set to be directed by Shireen Oboy Chinoy, is still moving forward at Lucasfilm. Despite the acclaimed talent exiting the development process, it is reported that the film will be officially announced in April during Star Wars Celebration, which is just around the corner, by the way, guys. The plot of the well-guarded film remains largely mysterious. Yeah, that was the whole point of Secret. But early indications suggest the project is incredibly important to Lucasfilm for one big reason. How important could it be when you fire the writers? It has been rumored that the film will take place after Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker and feature characters from the sequel trilogy. If true, this would mark the first time that the characters from the newest films will return to the franchise. Moreover, it would likely be the next feature-length Star Wars project to hit theaters. Okay, so, it goes on a little bit here. You see that it goes on to talk about, which, again, a video that we have on the channel that has been going crazy a little bit lately, is about Patty Jenkins' Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie and Kevin Feige's mysterious Star Wars movie, both being canceled. That was just a few weeks ago, a couple weeks, if that we talked about that. And that video has just been taking off in the last few weeks, or a few days, I'm sorry. And now here we are with more Star Wars shit. And so, look, I don't even know what my question here is. I don't even know what to ask anymore, Star Wars, Lucasfilm. I don't even know what to say or do. All I know is this. In a world where every single film, all it wants to be is a goddamn franchise, you have the first and original
And best.
and probably best franchise. And yet you can't get a single damn thing right about this thing for years. Mandalorian's at its lowest. Mandalorian's the greatest thing Star Wars ever made, in my personal opinion, and I know lots of people who think just the same.
I'm also one.
After having it 1 and 2 just be equally as good, we have this 2 or 3 year break with the book of shitty, and the only good episodes of it are Mandalorian episodes that you've pieced into the middle of it, and then 18 years later, we get Mandalorian season 3, and it's having its lowest rated season ever. And do we wonder why?
Right.
I forgot Din Djarin is alive.
Right.
Like, when it started, I forgot where we were. I'm like, where is we at in the story? Oh, yeah, he's got Yoda back. I don't even know that anymore. That's how long it's been since I've seen the goddamn thing. Like, and Book of Boba Fett made me not want to care.
Yeah,
like, it made me go, well, now not only am I not looking for, I just don't care. And so, and that became really apparent to me when I put on the first episode of season 3 of Mandalorian. When immediately I'm like, wait, whoa. Okay, let's go through the brain files here and figure out what the fuck's going on and where we are in this story.
Loading.
Because about 3 years ago, I decided I don't care anymore. And
Right.
apparently, I'm not the only one. Apparently, everyone else that watches Mandalorian pretty much feels the same way. I will tell you this. I'm completely caught up on season 3 of Mandalorian, and it is phenomenal. It is just as good as every episode of Mandalorian ever freaking made. But I will admit that I'm not there every night or every morning to catch it right when it comes out. I am not there with excitement and my lightsaber ready to ignite anymore. So as good as it is, even I am starting to wonder what comes next for The Mandalorian. So I guess what comes next for Star Wars in general. Look, here's all I know is this, and here's my only take on this stuff with Lindelof, is that somebody's got to get over there. I know, I can't remember her name. What is the lady's name?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes, you got Kathleen Kennedy there.
Get her out.
You know.
Get her out.
I've given her the benefit of the doubt for a long time. I mean, listen, every movie that Kathleen Kennedy has made there has been a success, period, financially. And she, when Jon Favreau walked into her office and said, I got this crazy idea about a Mandalorian that's not Boba Fett, she was the one that was wild enough to go, this sounds like a good idea, John. So I've given her the benefit of the doubt, but you know what? Is at some point with all great things, like if you take the Los Angeles Lakers, for example, at some point when you're not succeeding, it's time to mix up who's leading your guys. And in that case, with the Lakers, it's your coach. Coach has to go. You don't get rid of LeBron. You keep the team, right. But the guys that are kind of making sure the team shows up and does their job, and that guy maybe it's time to replace. In this case, that's Kathleen Kennedy, and I think you're right. I think she's got to go, man. I think it's time to get someone else in there. What I've been saying for a long time, give me Jon Favreau. Right. Give me Jon Favreau in that role. I know that he's not really cut out for it and doesn't have anywhere near the kind of credentials that Kathleen Kennedy has when it comes to doing things like that. But no one thought he would create the greatest thing Star Wars ever either, or do any of it. Come on, Jon Favreau is a master of all trades, man. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a director, he's a comedian. Jon Favreau is a GOAT, man. So I'd love to see him in that more bigger creative role. You know, there's also Dave Filoni. Maybe we can see Dave Filoni take on that role someday. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not going to pretend that I have some sort of answer or idea. You know, what you want is Kevin Feige or something equivalent. That's all I know. But, you know, he's the greatest one and only of all time. So good luck. But I'm sure there's someone out there. And, you know, I'm not even going to sit here and bash and hate on Kathleen Kennedy at all. I'm just going to say that maybe it's just time for a guard change. You know, maybe it's just time you know, for some change here, whether good or bad. Sometimes even in success, change has to happen when your talent is what you're losing. So, for example, if the Lakers are playing very well, they're winning lots of games, but LeBron's not getting along with the other players. He's not getting along with the coach. That's the coach's job to keep all of those things going on. So even though they're winning, maybe we get somebody in here that can handle the talent. Yeah, that can handle the talent better, keep them from quitting, and we'll still win, right? Because it's the same dudes. It's not like we're losing the team. So hopefully we'll still win. And that's kind of the situation we're in. Kathleen Kennedy's winning games. Yes, fair. But she's mismanaging the talent a little bit, I would say. I mean, I think day by day it's becoming more and more evident. And this is just another example. I've gone on too long. Trevor, what's your opinion on all this, man?
Well, you know, again, I don't want to hate on Kathleen either. I mean, she was a producer, one of the main producers,
one of the best
Jurassic
producers
Park.
ever.
Yeah, she's
the history of Hollywood.
Right,
and that's what she should get back to doing.
Yeah, just producing
Produce.
Movies,
Damn,
right?
Skippy. That's what she's
good.
great at.
She's great at it. But the problem, and I mean, it's just, at this point, it's exactly like that metaphor with the Lakers is such a good metaphor to explain exactly what's going on here, is that her job is to play the entire fiddle of Star Wars. Right. And I get this feeling that she's not that big of a Star Wars fan. Like, not that she doesn't like it. And like, I'm sure she does. But, like, in order to do this job, you have to be that kid in school that was so nerdy that they forgot to take a shower for 6 weeks because they watched Star Wars every day and read every book and looked at every comic. You need that type of person with that type of natural dedication in order to be able to pull something like this off. And she doesn't have it. And let's say if she were to be putting out consistent good movies, I wouldn't be saying this. But she has never put out a great thing. Other than Mando, which again, power to her for making the bold choice.
Well, people love that Force Awakens movie. I mean, let's not act like people don't. I mean, that was
But here's the thing about Force Awakens, and I will stand by this because I think this is. If you were to ask a lot of the people who like Force Awakens now, I bet they'd probably
yes, today,
right, yes, because
I'm talking about then though.
Yes,
but yes, I agree with you.
Exactly what I said. I
agree with where you're going.
Right, yeah,
and I agree. I'm one of those people.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
I said good. This is a good start. Let's see if we can do something with this. It was just good though. It was a good start.
Solid.
It wasn't great on its own. Yes, yeah. But that's at that point, because the pressure was so on, that's all I needed. That should have relieved the pressure, and it never got better.
It also was one of those things where it'd been so long since we had anything Star Wars that part of us was kind of like, yeah,
right,
no matter what. And I think as time went on, all those feelings kind of subsided, especially as we got more and more Star Wars. That was, I mean, to me, in my opinion, that particular trilogy does, you know, the opposite of what the original trilogy does for me, which is steadily get worse.
Right. Yes, it does.
And where the original trilogy for me, I know a lot of people, you know, their favorite is 2 or 1, but for me, it's Return of the Jedi, and the second one is my second favorite. So for me, it's like good, great, oh my God.
Right.
And then for this trilogy, it was like, okay, solid start. This is gonna. Oh my God!
What's going on?
What are we thinking? And then
Let's write the ship. No,
This is not a fuck. This isn't even a movie. This is a fan film from YouTube or something. What am I watching here?
that last movie's dumb.
Yeah, terrible. Rise of nothing, man. Yeah. Rise of nothingness. Honestly, I feel like this can't be right. You know, remember you were here. Me and Lucas were debating. This is a few years ago, but we were debating when another Avengers movie was coming out, and he's like, "Oh, it'll be like 2028." Or I'm like, "Dude, no way. That's like 8 years. You can't let Avengers." Every one of them pretty much has made $2 billion. You can't let that $2 billion sit for 8 more years. Right. Meanwhile, Star Wars is like, it'd be 14. I just do not get that at all.
I don't understand. The whole management structure.
Again, it starts at the top, dude. I think I think we're right here. I think that again, no hate whatsoever. Again,
she's just running a sloppy
Kathleen
crew.
Kennedy, one of the greatest producers in the history of Hollywood, has produced some of the greatest films in recent history, or some of the biggest name films, especially. I put her right up in that tier of producer level of like Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige. But man, I think so. Again, it's nothing, but I just think it's time. Like I said, the analogy with the Lakers is my best way to phrase it. I think that she's winning games, yes, but she's mismanaging the talent. And sometimes, if I'm the Lakers, if I'm the guy that owns the Lakers now, right, what would be, let's say it's you, Trevor. You own the Lakers. What do you care more about, winning games or making sure LeBron James is happy?
Well, I care more about making sure LeBron James is happy because LeBron James is going to win that championship.
That's right, because you know what he does in turn?
He wins
the
championship.
Damn games for you, right? So, and he's the best.
Right.
So the last thing you want to do is look across the way and the dude you're playing tonight is the dude that was on your team last week.
Right, because you pissed him off.
Right. So if worse come to worse, you get rid of everybody but LeBron.
Right.
And
restart.
And to me, that's the, again, this is the thing with talent. You know, you can't let Lindelof go. There was the guys from Benioff and Weiss or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Johnson. There's so many people that have been coming into this franchise and are attached to it for moments. And when they do, we're like, whoa, great. These are good writers. These are good people. These are good this. And then a year, 2, 8 years later, oh, well, that just isn't happening. Right. And honestly, I don't know how you keep doing this with, like I said, one of the greatest franchises.
Yeah,
the original franchise.
Like, I mean, and again, the going with the Lakers specifically is it's like there's almost this expectation from everybody in the world that knows what this is. And the fact that you're failing it, like, yes, you're putting out mostly, like, not bad.
And it's
just very mediocre.
And this is why I use the Lakers as an example. This ain't the Milwaukee Bucks.
Right.
No. No, this is prestige. This is the greatest franchise in NBA history.
Right.
Star Wars.
Right.
That's what this is, guys. And again, it's like when the Lakers go through those little slumps, you know, there'll be like 2 or 3 years where just no one's going there, nothing's happening. But, you know, you can't let that go on. Like, you can't let that go on for 10 years or a decade where the Lakers are now equivalent to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's not what you want, man. That's not what you want. Again, with the greatest franchise ever. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Lindelof being out? Were you excited about what he was doing? Do you think this is further evidence that it's maybe time for a guard change and for Kathleen Kennedy to get out of there, especially, you know, knowing that Feige's movie and Patty Jenkins' movie was just canceled just last week or whatever, a couple weeks ago? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we are all out of main topics today. We appreciate you guys all being here. I know Trevor has somewhere to be here soon, so I'm going to wrap up this show. It looks like Matt just jumped in the chat. Said, sorry, guys, just walked in the door from work. No big deal, Matt. We're just getting off work. So,
right.
But anyway, yeah, we appreciate you guys being here, joining us today, talking movies and movie news. We will be back here tomorrow, of course. And I believe Lucas will be back here with us. I am again going to try to go out and see a movie tonight. I'm on a a fiery path to see a movie per night until I literally can't breathe. I'm going to drown myself in film. So I'm had a super good time at Shazam. I still want to go see Cocaine Bear while I can. There was I can't remember the other one, but there's another one I want to see. There's a few things out right now I really want to see. So I'm gonna try to get back out again tonight and see one of those films. But I appreciate everyone being here. I have been joined today by my friend, colleague, and co-host Trevor Farney. Trevor, where can people find you at, buddy?
At the Mad Making Mind Productions, I believe. Might just be Mad Making Mind. Now that I'm thinking about it. On Instagram. Yeah.
Awesome. And you guys know where to find me. You can find me at Keaton Toothman pretty much anywhere at this point. Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube, of course. Like I said, appreciate you guys all being here, and I will be back here in the studio tomorrow around the same time, same bat place, talking the same bat shit. I do want to mention real quickly, too, that, Trevor, I seen the new trailer for The Flash while I was there to see Shazam. Okay. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it has Michael Keaton full-blown in the Batman suit. He walks in this scene, and, like, all these different versions of Barry and all these dudes are fighting, and they all, like, stop and turn and like, in unison, each one, like, down the line, like, that's, and it cuts to Michael Keaton, he goes, yep. I'm Batman. And then he jumps down and starts kicking ass. Like, it's so good. I'm ready for Michael Keaton's Batman to be back. And then, of course, there's a very end scene where Barry's clearly in trouble, and he, like, turns to Michael Keaton's Batman. He's like, "What do we do, Batman?" And Batman's like, "We don't die." It's great. Can't wait to see this movie. Michael Keaton's obviously wonderful. Man, I'm so glad that we live in a world where people are, especially in Hollywood, are getting, top tier medical treatment to live these long lives. I mean, what's the guy's name? The old guy with oh God,
Liam Neeson.
No. The old guy. He directs. He makes movies. He's like 99 years old. Yes. Yeah. The Clint Eastwoods of the world are still, like, he just had a new movie last year.
Dude, he has like 3 every year or something, bro.
I only hope that by 90, 100,000 years old, that I am still able to make a movie. And he's like riding horses in that. You ever rode a horse? I'm 30, dude. I'm like, oh my God, how do we do this? Thank God for Tesla.
Right.
But yeah, guys, it's been a real blast. We appreciate you guys being here. We will be back here tomorrow. Join us then. I will see you guys